here at Coast Reflector Morning Brew, here every morning at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'll be your net controller for the first part. My name's Roger, KO4QMM in Central Florida, and then Bill will do the second half, KF0MHN. And our question this morning is, have you ever had a waterbed? Try to keep it down to a yes and no, and yes, I had one, and not the best. I'd rather have a normal mattress. What we'll do, start it off with I'll read out the text check-ins that are here, and then I'll call for mobiles, and we'll go through those and then jump on the text. So let me start from the bottom here. And this is net number 1274 on this August 6th of 2026. So bottom up of the text check-ins, WQ9V Ken, KJ5MEL Jose, KE2EDS Mark, KJ4ZFM Robert, K4MMX Craig, KR4AEG Charles, KC3UUK Herbert, N4RSM Richard, KK4DUK Duck, W3CVE Chuck, KD2YUY Charles, KI4EQEGQ Bill, EGQ Bill, K2UDB Mike, KB3EYR Greg, stand by. That worked perfect there. Got my log right there. KK7DY, N3DQD Ray, KM4WZV Joe, N0CKV Mark, KI6 KQO Zach, KA8BYU Roy, KQ4YYN Joe, K8UFM Randall, KA4EPS Lou, K4GET Ron, KA4RAK Bob, NQR Joe, K4POIN, and top of with KG4GOQ, Paul, Lake Worth, Florida. All right, now let's get the mobiles. Try to come in slowly. Kilo Echo 2, Charlie, Charlie, Gowa. Kilo Echo 2, Charlie, Charlie, Gowa, mobile. 4, Juliet, November, mobile. KB2, Whiskey 5, Golf, Hotel, Romeo. Whiskey 5, Golf, Hotel, Romeo, mobile. Kilo Romeo 4, KJ5, N8 Romeo 4, Juliet Tango. Kilo Juliet 5, November Hotel Hotel. November 8, Romeo Echo Juliet. November 8, Romeo Echo Juliet. In and out. Whiskey 8, Sierra Tango Juliet. Whiskey 8, Sierra Tango Juliet. Mobile, in and out. Good morning. 2 Alpha Foxtrot Uniform, in and out. Again, that's Whiskey 2, Alpha Foxtrot Uniform. Mobile, in and out. K9XOK, K9XOK. Kilo 2. Alright, I'm sure we there. So far we got K9XOK Pat, W2AFU Tom, W8STJ Steve, KC2NJV Wayne, N8REJ Robert, There was an NHH or something like that. Come back. Kilo, July 5, November, Hotel. Gotcha, Jeremy. And then there was a KR4J something or Q. Good morning, KR4JTQ, in and out. KR4JTQ, was it? JCQ, was that it? Yes, sir. Kilo Romeo 4, Juliet, Tango, Quebec. I must have been hearing things. Vicky had it right the whole time. Thanks, Sean, for getting in there. And then we W5GHR Brian, KJ5ML, KZ4JN Anders, KE2CCK Matt, and top of the line. Good morning to you, Matt, Frankfurt, New York, KE2CCK. Question is, have you ever had a waterbed? Good morning. Good morning, everybody on the net. No, I ever had a waterbed. Sounds interesting. Everybody have a good rest of your day. And 7-3 is KE2CCK back to net. Yeah, I kind of came up with this question talking in the Zoom room the other day. Hoping KZ4JN Anders, Alachua, Florida. Good morning.
Good morning, Roger. Good morning, Vicky, and everyone else on the crew. I did have a waterbed. My wife actually had it when I moved over here, and she just kept making me seasick in that bed, so we ended up replacing it. But, that was 30 years ago. I hope everyone has a great day, and we're getting closer to Friday. This is Kilo Food for Juliet, November. Back to you.
And thanks for joining. Yes, mine was about 35 years ago. Seemed like they were popular then, and I looked it up. They still sell them, so I guess they're still out there. Ezra, Belcassie, Louisiana, KJ5MLZ. Good morning, Ezra. KJ5MLZ, good morning, Roger. This is Vicky. Answer the question, no, I have never owned a waterbed. Back to your net control. KJ5MLZ. Thanks, Ezra. Have a great morning there. Drive safe. Brian, Katy, Texas, W5GHR. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Brew Crew. Answer to the question is no, I never had a waterbed. My parents were wise enough not to give in and buy one for me when I was a teenager. Back to you, Net Control, W5GHR. Probably wise parents there. Thanks, Brian, for joining us. Sean, Hollywood, Florida, was in and out, KR4JTQ. Jeremy, Texas, KJ5H. Good morning, Jeremy. Have you ever had a waterbed? Good morning, Burker. My parents weren't wise enough, so you add me to the shameless, yes, I owned a waterbed column. KJ5NHH, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Have a good day there, my friend. And did I do Robert? No, he was in and out. All right, Wayne, Belmore, New York, KC2NJV. Good morning, Wayne. Good morning, Roger, and the rest of the crew, KC2NJV.
not had a waterbed, but I had slept in them. Have a great day.
Joining us, have a good day. Last on the mobile list, Pat, Northbrook, Illinois, K9XOK. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, Roger, Vicki, everyone on the Brew Crew. A very good morning to all. In regard to waterbed, no, never have had a waterbed.
And not missing much. Have a good day there. Thanks for joining us. This is KO4QMM, Roger in Central Florida. We'll move on to Paul, Lake Worth, Florida, KG4GOQ. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Vicki, and the rest of the Brew Crew. Yes, I have had a waterbed in the past, and it's definitely left in the past. Back to the net. This is KG4GOQ in Palm Springs, Florida.
Yeah, now they got the mattresses you get Amazon and open it up and big. Have a good day there. Ed, Lockahachie, Florida, K4POI. Good morning, Ed.
Answer no, never had a waterbed, never wanted one. K4POI, back to the net.
Thanks for getting in there, Ed. Joe, Deerfield Beach, N3SQR. Good morning, Joe. You ever had a waterbed?
Good morning, Roger. Bill, the rest of the Brew Crew. Nope, never had one. They leak. N3SQR, back to net.
All right. I'm waiting on the story. Somebody up 3 stories high and got a leak in it. Have a good day, Joe. Bob, Jupiter, Florida, KA4RAK. Good morning, Bob. KA4RAK, you there? Ronald, Jasper, Florida, K4GET. Good morning, Ronald. K4GET, you there?
Okay, I guess I didn't have the button pushed in hard enough. Yes, K4GET from Jasper, Florida. Thanks for doing the net. And Vicki, thanks for keeping the books. I did have a waterbed. K4GET.
Thanks for your answer, my friend, and thanks, Vicki, for logging KE8BKY. Let's move on to Lou, Lake Worth, Florida, KA4EPS. Good morning, Lou.
Hey, good morning, Roger. Hello, Vicki. Thanks, both of you, for what you do. And answer is yes. Until the hot water heater for the waterbed got stuck on, and then I didn't have it anymore. Enough said. KA4EPS.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times I woke up freezing in one of them things. Have a good... Randall, Brownstown, Chip, Michigan, K8UFM. Good morning, Randall.
Good morning, Roger. Good morning, Vicki, and good morning to the rest of the Brew Crew. That would be no to today's question. No. With that said, this is KUFM, back to net control. Everyone have an outstanding Thursday.
Nice, simple answer. Thanks for joining us, Randall. You have a good day. Sorry, Joe. Terrible with those mobiles. Didn't see it there. Franklin, Georgia, KQ4YYN. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Mr. Roger, and good morning, Miss Vicki, and everyone else on the crew. I did have a waterbed. and the heater went out several times on it. And you could be in Phoenix, Arizona, 110 degrees in the day, and it go down to 90 degrees at night, and you'd wake up freezing in that waterbed once the heater went out. So after about a year or so, I think I got rid of it somehow or another. Had to drain the water out, which that in itself was an adventure. But anyway, everybody have a great day out there. It's going to be a beautiful day down here in the south. This is KQ4 YYN. Back to you, Mr. Roger, and the rest of the net.
Oh yeah, you used to see the garden hoses coming out of the apartments. You knew what they were doing. Have a good day. Thanks for joining us. Roy, Blaisdell, New York, KA8 BYU. Good morning, Roy.
Good morning, everybody on the brew. KA8 BYU. No, I've never had a waterbed. Slept in one a couple times, but never owned one. Back to you.
KI6KQO. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning, Roger, Vicky, and the Morning Brew. My answer is no. I never have a waterbed, and I don't feel like I missed anything. So everyone have a blessed day. Back to you, Roger, KI6KQO.
No, sir. Have a good day there, Zach. Mark, Plymouth, Minnesota, N0CKV. Good morning, Mark. Do you ever have a waterbed?
Morning, Roger, Vicky, Bill, rest of the brew crew, everybody else on the net. No, I never did. Everybody have a great Thursday, because today's my birthday, and a great rest of the week. N0CKV back to net.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Mark. Vicky had it all lit up in pink there, and hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us. Let's move on to Joe, Claremont, Florida, KM4WZD. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Roger. Good morning, Vicky, and happy birthday to Mark. No, never had a waterbed. Never really saw the point. Everybody take care and have the best Thursday possible. It's KM4WZD. Back to net.
It was a fad. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us. Ray, Beaver, PA, N3DQD. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Roger, and the rest of the... This is N3DQD. The answer to the question is no, and I just wanted to thank Vicky and the rest of the East Coast staff for the vaccine. I did listen to it this morning and again found it very enjoyable. This is N3DQD.
Yes, I did see that the magazine is out, and everybody's welcome to check it out. Go to eastcoastreflector.com. There's a lot there to see. We have a lot of different nets, and we got one coming up today at 10 o'clock, 20-meter net on 14.317, give or take, at 10 a.m. That's 10 a.m. So let me move on to Clark, Phoenix, Arizona, KK7DY. Good morning, Clark.
Morning, Roger, Vicky, and the rest of the brew crew. Yes, I did have a waterbed. Back to net control, KK7DY.
Thanks for your answer there, Clark. And this is KO4QMM, Roger in Central Florida. Greg, Coreyville, PA, KB3EYR. Good morning, Greg. Have you ever had a waterbed?
Hey, good morning, Roger, Vicky, everybody on the brew crew this morning. This is KB3EYR, and negative to the question. Back to net control.
Thanks for joining us, Greg. Have a great day. My buddy Mike, Sebring, Florida, KB2UDB. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Roger, Miss Vicky, and everybody else on the brew. Number one thing, don't question Vicky's login. He's the queen of logs. Answer to the question, yes, I had two. One without the baffle and one with the baffle. Slow that motion down with the baffle. And I hated it when the heater went because you had to drain it to get a new pad put down in there for the heater. So there's the question of the day. There's the answer. And have a good day. Thanks for picking me up this morning. And the fish are biting up here in New York. So with that, everybody have a fine day and happy birthday there, Mark. KB2, UDB, upstate New York. Back to net.
Thanks, Mike, for always joining us, and I knew you were going to be a yes. You're just not happy unless you're on the water. It's just like rocking in a boat. Have a good day there, my friend, and get lots of fish. Woodstock, Georgia, Bill, KI4EGQ. Good morning, Bill.
Well, good morning, Roger and Vicky and all the brew crewers out there. Yeah, back in the 90s, I had a waterbed for 3 years, but after I was at the first or second move, and then it got to be too much of a pain to keep up with the squishing the water out and doing the algae treatments, and so yeah, that was a fad from the 90s. I think I had a futon too in the living room. There's a word you don't hear much anymore either. Anyway, have a great day. KI4EGQ.
Right? That's another question for another day. And yes, imagine those frames, those 2-inch wooden frames around that thing. Oh my goodness, you could always see them in somebody's front yard when they got rid of it. Thanks again for joining us. Charles, Syracuse, New York, KD2YUY. Good morning, Charles.
Yeah, good morning, Roger, and everybody else listening in on the brew. Put me in the yes column. When the heater was working, it was fantastic to crawl into on a cold winter day. 73, all back to net control KD2YUY.
Right, I bet that part was pretty good. Good morning, Chuck, Newcastle, PA, W3CVE.
Good morning, Roger, Vicky, and everybody on the brew there. Put me down for no there, Raj. Thanks for doing the net. Have a great day. W3CVE.
You got it, Chuck. Have a nice day there in Newcastle today. Duck, Lake City, Florida, KK4DUK. Good morning, Duck. You're probably happy.
Good morning. This is KK4DUK. Excellent question. Brings back a lot of memories. Yes, I had 2 waterbeds in total. The first was I think it was a double, but that one was the kind that, I can't remember the name, but whenever you moved, you were moving up and down big time. Then the second one was a king, and I stepped my game up, so to speak, with that. So it felt more like a traditional mattress. Excellent question. I'll say 73s to everyone. This is KK4DUK. Quack, quack.
Thanks for that, Duck. Yeah, questions get hard and fewer to find out there. So fun when you can find something out there. Thanks for joining us. Richard, Sumter, South Carolina, N4RSM. Good morning, Richard. You ever had a waterbed?
And everyone on the road crew? Yes, we did. And college, I had a real nice one. Thanks for running it. Back to you, N4RSM 73.
And have a great day, Richard. Thanks for joining us. Herbert, West Milson, PA, KC3UUK. Good morning, Herbert.
This is KC3UUK, Herbert in West Mifflin. Good morning to everybody on the net, and my answer to that would be no. I'm not interested in it. With that being said, everybody have a great day. Enjoy this weather. KC3UUK, back to the net.
Thanks, Herbert. Have a great day out there. Charles, Belmont, North Carolina, KR4AEG. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, Roger. Dickie, everybody on the net. Yes, I owned a waterbed many years ago. I guess it was one of those things you just had to experience and then move on. Well, for AEG, back to net control.
Thanks for getting in there, Herbert. You have a wonderful day. Charles, or what that was, Charles. Craig, Oakland Park, Florida, K4MMX. Good morning, Craig.
Good morning, everyone. The answer is yes, and the most memorable thing was constantly trying to get air out of it. You get it all out, 2 days later, the water would outgas, and you're back at it again. Wow, what a nightmare that was. I guess it was the sound of the air and the bubbles. K4MMX back to.
Thanks for joining us, Craig. You have a good day there, too. Robert, Deltona, Florida, KJ4ZFM. Good morning, Robert.
Wow. It was funny. This was a funny question for me, to be honest with you. Good morning, Vicky, everybody on the Brew Crew. Thank you for welcoming me. I actually bought a waterbed and never got an opportunity to use it. Every apartment that I had at the time, my rooms were too small. Thank you for welcoming me for the crew. Everybody have a blessed day and stay safe. And it looked like I just got a notification of a space launch. KJ4ZFM, Deltona, Florida. Everyone have a blessed day. Stay safe.
Thanks for joining us, Robert. Yeah, imagine the weight of those suckers in apartment complexes. That's a lot of extra weight. Mark, one of our team members here, net controller, Elma, New York, KE2EDS. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Roger. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Brew Crew. A definite negative. My parents, where we put a waterbed upstairs, so never did it. Have a great day, Kate.
Have a good day, Mark. Thanks for getting in there this morning. Jose, Austin, Texas, KJ5MEL. Good morning, Jose.
Morning, good morning. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Bill. And good to hear you, Roger. Good morning as well. No, never had a waterbed. Not interested in one. Thank you for running the net. Have a great, awesome day. 7 threes to all of you and the brew.
Thanks for joining us every morning there, Jose, and you have a most wonderful day yourself. Ken, Brownsville, Texas, WQ9V. Last of the text check-ins, and then we'll do some general check-ins coming up. Good morning, Ken. We didn't lose you, did we, Ken? WQ9V. All right, right, my friends, you know what time it is. It's time to take general check-ins. This is KO4QMM with Vicky Logging, KJBKY. You're listening to the East Coast Reflector Morning Brew here every day at 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We're getting ready for general check-ins and in and outs. Anybody, anywhere. Come twice and slow for Miss Vicky.
Whiskey 4, Papa X-ray in and out. W4, PPX in and out this morning.
November 5, Charlie Hotel Bravo Mobile. Oscar, November 5, Charlie Hotel Bravo Mobile. WB5ITT Mobile.
KD6DIQ, Kilo Delta 6, Delta, any Quebec, in and out.
Kilo Papa Mike. Romeo Hotel Echo. KO4FRR, KO4FRR.
Kilo Juliet 5, Romeo Foxtrot Romeo. Kilo Juliet 5, Romeo Foxtrot Romeo, in and out.
November 8, Golf 2, Lima Alpha, Kilowatt Golf 2, Lima Alpha, in and out.
Kilo Charlie 5, Charlie Zulu X-ray, KC5CZX.
Whiskey 5, Golf Uniform. 5 Golf Uniform Delta, Keith and Texas in and out.
W4 AEB, W4 AEB,
Kilo 4, Delta India Yankee. Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Tango Juliet, VA3, KTJ.
All right, I better grab a hold of it here. Wow, great job, Vicky. Whew, nice lineup there. VA3 KTJ, Jinsuk, W4 AEB, Armand, Mobile, we'll get back to you. K4 DIY, Leo, W5 DUD, Mobile, Keith, and in and out. Have a good day, Keith. KC5 CZX, Daryl. N8YMI, John, in and out. Have a good day there, John. KJ5RFR, Stephen, in and out. Have a good day, Stephen. KC3FGD, Ray. KO4FRR, Joe. N4RHE, Roger. KB1KPM, Art. KD6DIQ, in and out. Todd, have a good day, Todd. W8WHK, Bill, in and out. Have a good day, Bill. Chris, WB5ITT, and let me hold up.
Echo 3, Tango Golf November. Victor Echo 3, Tango Golf November.
Man, you snuck in there, but I'm sure Vicky got you. Let me move on here. Where did I end up? WB5ITT Chris, N5CHB Chuck, W4PPX Don, in and out. Have a good day, Don. N8ZFH Gary, KQ4GWO William. And then here's the text check-ins that came in. W2RBC Randy, KABAC Al, KJ5BJN Matt, KA5GSS Shane, VA3YBS Bill, and NW4Q Jim. Let me go ahead and hit William, Wake Forest, North Carolina, KQ4GWO. Good morning, William, and have you ever had a waterbed?
Good morning, Net Control. This is Kilo Quebec 4 Golf Whiskey Oscar. We're around beautiful Wake Forest, North Carolina. No, I haven't. I haven't had a waterbed. I took a ride on one. But no, I haven't owned one for say myself, no doubt about it. Everybody have a super fine day. This is Kilo Quebec 4 Golf Whiskey Oscar. I'm clear.
Thanks for joining us as always, William, and you have a wonderful day there. Let me hit Shane. I see a mobile up there. League City, Texas, KA5GSS. Good morning, Shane. Might want to turn it up a little bit. We got your answer and have safe travels there. Let's move on to Gary, Woodhaven, Michigan, N8ZFH. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning. And the crew. Never had one, slept in one once. Please check me in and out. N8ZFH back tonight.
Thanks. You have a good day, Gary. Let me move to Jim, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, NW4Q. Good morning. You ever had a waterbed?
Good morning, Rod. Good to hear you. No waterbeds here. Thanks.
You got it. Thanks for your answer. Chris, Beaumont, Texas, WB5ITT. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, sir, to the rest of the morning brew. Happy Thursday, looking toward tomorrow. Oh, weekend finally. Anyhow, had a waterbed back in the 80s, and, semi-motionless, heated. Oh, I slept like a baby. In fact, the company I bought it from in Houston, Old Bear and Superior Waterbeds, that was their slogan, you'll sleep like a baby. And I did. And wish I still had one. Best slept. Hope everybody has a good day, and happy birthday to Mark and all those celebrating their birthdays today. And we'll see you all tomorrow morning, WB5ITT.
Thanks for joining us, Chris, as you always do. And they still sell them out there. And you might want to play some lotto today. You're number 777 today. So have a good day, my friend. Let me jump to Bill, Dunnville, Ontario, Canada, VA3YBS. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, good morning, Roger. Good morning, Vicki, and everybody on the brew crew. Yes, we had one years ago, but haven't slept on a waterbed in many years. I guess it was kind of a fad back in the day. Anyway, thanks for doing the net this morning, Roger. VA3YBS back to net control.
Thank you. You have a good day, too. This is KO4QMM, Roger. Let's move on to, let me see, Art, West Haven, Connecticut, KB1KPM. Good morning, Art.
Good morning, Roger. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, Brew Crew. I never had a waterbed, but, never had a waterbed, so I don't think I never will. Everybody have a nice weekend. KB1, KPM, back to net control.
I thought you were going to say, but you stayed at a Holiday Express. Have a good day, my friend. Let's move on to my friend Roger, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, N4RHE. Good morning, Roger.
KO4QM. Good morning, Rogelio and cousin. Good ears. November 4, Rumi Teleco. Yes, I enjoyed the motion of the ocean on my baffled waterbed, problem-free for many years. Thanks, Clever Cousin, for Reflector Magazine, Volume 31. And in my case, I hitchhiked my way to the Morning Brew. Always a good ride. November 4, Roger M. Enthusiast, return to net.
Right, that's another question for another day. Have you ever hitchhiked? Better keep it quiet. People will start answering already. Have a good day, Roger. Thanks for joining us as always. Let me jump back up here to KABAC, Al, Britain, Michigan. Good morning, Al.
Good morning, Roger, Vicky, everybody on the Brew crew. Happy Thursday, I guess it is. Answer the question, yes. In fact, like a lot of other people, probably one of the best sleeping beds we've ever had. So, off and running, got a meeting this morning, so I probably won't catch you on the 20-meter net, but good luck on it. Back to you, Roger, KABAC.
You got it, Al. Yeah, last week we did pretty good. I think we had like 30 check-ins, and I think the Hex Beam is helping a little bit. You have a great day. We'll miss you, Al. You always sound good. Team member Randy, West Seneca, New York, W2RBC. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, Roger, Vicky, and everyone on the Morning Brew. No, I've never had a waterbed. I've tried one in the store and didn't like the way it felt. Roger, I'll see you on the 20-meter net. Back to net control, 73 to all, W2RBC.
We'll see you there, and I don't think you're missing much on the waterbed. Joe, my buddy from Sorrento, KO4FRR. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, this is Joe, KO4FRR. It's about time, Roger. I would have to say no on this one. Have pets, and it probably won't last the first night. I'll talk to you guys in the Zoom room, and I'm surprised I'm up this early.
I like to hear that. You got up just to join me this morning. Thanks, Joe. You have a wonderful day. Thanks, Vicky, for the great logging, KEAPKY. And this is KO4QMM, Roger in Central Florida. Ray, Elizabethtown, PA, KC3FGD. Those ghost peppers are getting close.
Hey, good morning, Roger, Vicky, everyone on the net. Yes, they are. In fact, I have the hottest one I know of, Dragon's Breath, at 2,720 Scoville units. So that'll toast you real quick. Anyway, never had a waterbed, and I've tried a few of them, and kind of a weird feeling to me. Hey, everyone, have a wonderful day. Back to net control.
Man, them things sound so powerful, they're buzz. Thanks for joining us, Ray. Have a great day. And Steve and John were in and out. Then we moved to Daryl, Lubbock, Texas, KC5CZX. Good morning, Daryl. You ever had a waterbed?
Well, good morning to everybody on the... How well I'm making it in, I'm HD mobile, but yes, I have had a waterbed. Back to that, KC5CZX.
You made it in just fine, Daryl. And I wonder if you got a waterbed in your sleeper there. Wouldn't that be something? Have a good day. Leo, New Hampshire, K4DIY. Good morning, Leo.
How about Kilo 4 Delta India Yankee?
How about that? Well, if you want to
There
change
we
it,
go. Kilo 4 Delta
Florida,
India
that'll work. KK4DIY. Good morning, Gene.
And the answer is yes. I have owned a water, not for a kind, but for young. KKIY 73.
Sorry for doubling a little bit with you there, Gene, but we got your answer, and you have a wonderful day. Armand, Miami, Florida, W4AEB, another mobile I missed there. Good morning, Armand.
Good morning, everybody on the brew. This is W4AEB, Armand in Miami. My answer is no, never had one. Everybody have a great day. W4AEB, back to net control.
Thanks, Armand. You have a great day. Jinsuk, VA3KTJ. Good morning, Jinsuk. You ever had a waterbed?
Good morning, Roger, Vicky, and everyone on the net. My answer is no. I have never had a water bed. I will never have one either. Everybody have a great day. This is VA3KTJ 53.
Have a great day, Jinsuk. Thanks for joining us. Tim, Windsor, Ontario, Canada, VE3TGN. Good morning, Tim.
We are really busy there, Roger. Good morning to you. And Becky there, good luck. And definitely the answer is no. I never had a water bed, and that always had to spring in there. So thanks for picking me up. The 3 TGN for here on the Brew. Thanks to all.
Thanks for the well wishes, Tim. You have a wonderful day. KQ8U, Bob, Ecorse, Michigan. Good morning, Bob. KQ8U. Good morning, Bob. Must have got a business call or something. All right, last on this list before we start calling for more generals is Daryl, Concord, New Hampshire, WB1DXN. Good morning, Daryl.
Morning, Vicky and Roger and the rest of the Brew crew. Had a smooth ride in on the Tex commuter train today, and I didn't screw it up, so I got in there on a good one from the Granite State. No. I tried a waterbed one time, did not care for it, and then the high rails there that was getting in and out of the bed was not excruciating for me, but it was a little difficult. So everybody have a safe day and a wonderful day, and keep situational awareness and know what's around you. Always have a way out in case things go bad real quick. WB1DXN.
You have a good day, Daryl. Thanks for joining us. All right, that brings us to, this is KO4QMM, Roger in Central Florida. You're listening to the East Coast Reflector Morning Brew, and Bill's in the green room, as Dick always says, KF0MHN. He'll do the second half of the net this morning. And on that note, let's go ahead and take some more check-ins. Come with your call sign twice and slow.
Kilo 4 Hotel Delta
7 OMH.
Headed out. Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-Ray Bravo. Kilo Juliet 5 Delta X-Ray Bravo.
Kilo Delta Hotel Charlie Uniform. Kilo Delta Hotel Charlie Uniform. Eric in Yaphank, New York.
Kilo Charlie
quiet
2,
spot there.
Uniform
KD2
Victor
HCU
Quebec.
Eric.
Kilo Charlie 2,
N4
Uniform Victor Quebec.
SU Jerry. K7ZCF. Something like that. You want to come back? Somebody with a K7Z, are you out there? I reckon not. KJ5DXB Frank, W70MH Mike, K4HD Kevin, and top of the list KI5PMI Bill, Hobbs, New Mexico. Good morning, Bill. You ever had a waterbed KI5PMI?
Good morning, Roger, everybody on the brew. No, sir, never had a waterbed. Hope everybody has a great day, and thank y'all for putting on the ECR. KI5PMI back to net.
Thanks, Bill. Have a good day. Kevin, in Country, California. Boy, it sounds like a nice place. K4HD. Good morning, Kevin.
Hey, good morning, Roger and Brew Crew. Yes, I've had a couple different versions of the waterbed. Not only that, used to deliver and set up waterbeds back in the 80s. So with that, back to net control, 73 all the way around, K4HD.
Right, waterbeds and surround sound. That was the thing. Thanks for joining us. Frank, Sugarland, Texas, KJ5DXB. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Roger, Vicky, everybody in the Brew Crew. I'm going to be a negative on this one today. Thanks for the check-in. Have a great day, everybody. KJ5DXB. Back to you, Roger.
You got it, Frank. Have a good day there. Miss Vicky got you down for a no. Jerry, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, N4OSU. Good morning, Jerry.
And everybody, good morning to the net. I did have a waterbed, just got rid of it about 6 months ago. Have a fine, doing a good job, man. 4 we're down in the file.
You have a good day, my friend. And let's move on to Eric from New York, KD2HCU. Good morning, Eric. You ever had a waterbed? Eric, KD2HCU, you there? He came in nice and clear, too. He must have got a phone call or something. Phil, Valley Stream, New York, KC2UVQ. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning. That's a negative, never had a waterbed. KC2, UVQ.
Sounds like another cool place to live. Valley Stream, New York. I like the names of some of these towns, and you wonder if they do have a valley and a stream or something. Thanks, Phil. Scott, Memphis, Tennessee, KY4NB. Good morning, Scott. You ever had a waterbed?
Well, Roger, and everybody on the Brew Crew, the answer to the question is going to be no. My brother-in-law, Fuzzy, that's an appropriate name there for someone to have a waterbed, I guess. Anyway, he had one for a long time and said he loved it. Thanks for doing the net. Thanks to everybody behind the scenes. KY4NB, back to net.
You have a great day there, Scott. Thanks for joining us. And Matt, Texas, KJ5BJN. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, everybody on the Brew Crew. Nope, never owned a waterbed myself. My parents had one, but I never owned one and probably never will at this point. Thanks for the net, and back to you, net control.
Wouldn't be fun without all you ham radio operators out there. Makes it a lot more fun. Thanks for joining us, Matt. And now we're ready to take some more check-ins. Come with your call sign twice and slow to join us this morning. Get in on the logbook.
4, ONH, Kilo, Foxtrot 4, Oscar, November Hotel, Gainesville.
KC2GRN, KC2GRN.
November 8, Hotel Lima, November, NHHLN.
K8, K7, ACF. K8 SMN. K8 SMN. Good morning. In and out today.
Kilo, Quebec 4, uniform, X-ray, Juliet. Kilo, Quebec 4, uniform, X-ray, Juliet.
All right, let me read those off, and maybe we can add a few more to there, get a good list going here. KQ4UXJ, KJ, North Carolina, Charlotte. KE8SMN, Jeff, Rochester Hills, Michigan, in and out. Have a good day there, Jeff. K7ACF, David, Canton, Ohio. NHHLN, Mike, Grosse Pointe, Michigan. KC2GRN, Joel, New York. KF4ONH, Paul, Gainesville, Florida. And KJ5BJN, Matt. Oh, I already did that, I think. And let's add to it. Anybody else? Come in with your call sign twice and slow.
N1QWX, N1QWX, in and out.
Alright, I tried to get a list there. N1QWX, in and out, Arthur, Lincoln, Maine there. Have a good day. And we had Johnny, N1YKT, in and out. Have a good day there, Johnny. Let me go to the top here. KF4ONH, Paul, Gainesville, Florida. Good morning, Paul, and have you ever had a waterbed?
Yes, I have. 2 of them back a long time ago. I don't care for them. Anyway, thanks for getting me aboard there. Hope that you and everybody has a good day there. And also 73, KF4ONH.
You have a good day, Paul. Thanks for joining us. Joel, KCRN, are you there, my friend?
Good morning, Roger, and everybody on the Morning Brew, KC2GRN. Answer the question is no, never had a waterbed. Anyway, everybody have a great day. KC2GRN, back to net.
Thanks for joining us, Joel. You have a good day, too. Mike, Grosse Pointe, Michigan, N8HLN. Good morning, Mike.
morning, Roger, Vicky, and everyone. Nope, never had one. Never had one. 73, back to net, and 8 chillin'.
All right, thanks, Mike. And that's it for me. I'm going to let Bill take it from here. KF0MHN. He'll take it from here, and everybody have a good day. And I'll catch you on the 20-meter net at 10 o'clock, 14.317, give or take. And everybody have a good day. All right, my buddy Bill, take it over.
Roger, thank you very much. That was K04QMM Roger doing the first hour of the morning brew. Good morning, everybody. My name is Bill, KF0MHN, and we'll continue with the question of the day. Have you ever had a waterbed? K7ACF, David in Canton, Ohio. Let's see.
Well, good morning, Bill, and all of the brew crew out there. The answer is yes. In my early 20s, I had a it became too much like a job to maintain it, so we ditched it. We got a standard bed. So thanks for hosting the net, and back to you.
All right, David, have a great day, and thanks for checking in. How about KEA-SNM? Well, pardon me, that was in and out, Jeff, Rochester, Michigan. We'll go down to KQ4UJXJ, KJ out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Good morning, Brew Crew. This is KJ in Charlotte, Bill, Vicky. And I did. It was sort of not mine. I had moved in with my cousin and grandmother, and he gave me his room and had one in there. So I was back in the early 90s. So that's the answer. KQ4UXJ back to net 73.
All right, KJ, have a great day, and thanks for checking in. All right, we had N1WX check in. He was in and out of Lincoln, and then let's see, we're at the bottom of the list, and let's start a new list. Remember to say your call signs twice and slowly. Kilo 5, Juliet, Lima, Kilo. November, Kilo 5, Juliet, Lima, Kilo.
November, Sierra, stroke mobile, NJ1F. Eric in South Burlington, Vermont, with a check-in in and out only, please. 7312.
Kilo 7, Victor Whiskey Papa, in and out. Kilo 7, Victor Whiskey Papa, in and out.
KA4, JAZ. KA4, JAZ.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot, pedestrian mobile.
KR4 NWI, KR4 NWI.
Alpha Delta 1 Delta Alpha. Alpha Delta 1 Delta Alpha mobile.
Right, we got a good list started there. We'll start, let's see who checked in here. KC2 GCT Samuel, AD1DA Doug, KR4 NWI George, KA4JAZ Alton checked in, and in and out was K7VWP Mike. We also had BA3CRF in a mobile. What say you, Bart?
Good morning, Net Control. Just out for a walk. It is already doing the math in my head. 70 degrees up here, a little bit humid. I did not hear the question of the day. Can you repeat it for me, please? VA3CRF.
Yeah, the question you ever had a waterbed, yes or no?
Mark me down for no. I have never had a waterbed, and I hope to keep it that way. Hope that everyone has a great day and a nice upcoming weekend. VA3 CRF.
All right, Vern, have a great day, and thanks for checking in. All right, we had S in and out, checking in, Eric from Shelburne, Vermont. And at the top of the list, we have K5, JLK James from Spring, Texas, checking in. Hey, James, have you ever had a waterbed?
Yes, sir. Good morning to everyone on the net, 73s. Hope everybody has a great day. And yes, I did have a waterbed for a little while. It sounded great, but didn't turn out that way. K5JLK, back to net.
All right, have a great day, and thanks for checking in. Let's move on to KA4JAZ Alton, Miss Lillian, Virginia. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir, and the rest of the Brew crew. The answer to that question, wow, when you say that it brings back memories, yes, I did have a waterbed, and it was kind of remiss on my part because I live in this second floor of a 3-floor apartment building, and as soon as the office saw me bringing a waterbed in there, they hiked up my rent because they wanted to protect themselves from water damage. But anyway, yes, I did have a waterbed back in the day. Back to net control, 73.
All right, Alton, thanks for checking in. And yes, I had a waterbed back in the day, and then after I got married, we got rid of it. But it does bring back great memories. You're so true about that. All right, let's move on to George, KR4NWI out of Burlington, North Carolina. Good morning, George.
Waterbed back in the day. Great day.
All right, George, thanks for checking in. Have a great day. We got you down for a yes in the long. Let's move on to AD1DA, Doug, Hutto, Texas. Good morning, Doug. Doug, you're not quite getting in. Right, we'll just put Doug in if he wants to check in a little bit later. He can come back. Let's move on to KC2GCT, Samuel out of Cape Vincent, New York. Good morning, Samuel.
This is KC2GCT. Good morning. No, I have not had a waterbed. Back to you, net. Over.
All right, Samuel, thanks for checking in and have a great day. All right, we're at the end of the list. We can start a new one. As a reminder, this is KF0MHN, and Vicky is on the log, KEABKY, back in her Zoom room. And let's have another list. Remember to say your twice and slowly.
K2CM. K2CMT.
Mobile.
Kilo 5, Sierra, Quebec, Lima. 5, Sierra, Quebec, Lima. Over.
All right, we'll get to the bottom and start our way up. Checking in on mobile station with Stephen, K5SQL. Stephen, good morning from Bain, North Carolina. Have you ever had a waterbed? Stephen, K5SQL, you're still with us? We'll put Stephen as an in and out. Let's move up the list to another mobile, 81DA. Doug out of Hutto, Texas. Good morning, Doug.
Hello, everybody. Roger, you, and Vicky. 81DA Doug from Hutto. I've never had myself a waterbed, but I had the chance to sleep for like a couple of months in one, and they're strange, but good. Better than on the floor. Back to that, 81DA, great day, 73.
All right, Doug, thanks for checking in and have a great day. Let's move on to N3MDC Mobile. Michael, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody on the Brew Crew. Yes, I have. I owned a waterbed many years ago when I still lived in Colorado. My mom got it for me. I don't have it anymore, unfortunately, but yes, I used to own a waterbed. Back to net control at 3 NDC.
All right, thanks for checking in, Michael. Have a great day. Just a reminder, the question of the day is, have you ever had a waterbed? Yes or no? Also checking in was KQ8U, Bob out of Ecorse, Michigan, and that's K2CMT, Mike, DeBerry, Florida. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, everyone on the brew. I didn't own a waterbed, but I had the experience of a waterbed on my honeymoon. And I didn't discover until the next day that there was a thermostat control on that thing. I thought I was going to freeze to death. Everyone have a great day, 73, and hope you can join us on the 20-meter net coming up at 10 a.m. today.
All right, Mike. Thanks for checking in. Mike is one of our net controllers. Also, he's talking about the 20-meter net. It comes up at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on 14.317. Be sure to join Roger and Mike there for that net. All right, let's move on to Bob, Ecorse, Michigan. KQ8U. Good morning, Bob.
Morning, Brew Crew. I had a girlfriend once who bought a waterbed, and we started drifting apart. No, I've never had one. KQ8U, Bassinet.
All right, have a great day, and thanks for checking in. All right, let's move on to WW0N, Kenny, Germantown, Maryland. What say you, Kenny?
Hey, good morning, Bill, Vicky, everybody else. No, I've never had a waterbed. Nope, not something I ever thought was possible. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Happy Friday Eve. This is WW0N, back to net.
All right, Kenny, thank you for checking in. Have a great day. Let's move on to N1 CBM, Carlos, Hollywood, Florida. Good morning, Carlos.
Morning, Bill, Vicky, and everybody else. It's pretty morning up here in Tallahassee, 77 degrees with clear skies. Nope, never had a waterbed. That's it for me. Nope. N1 CBM, back to net.
All right, Carlos, thanks for checking in and have a great day and be safe out there. All right, we're at the bottom of the list again. This is KF0MHN, and the question of the day is, have you ever had a waterbed, yes or no? Let's have some check-ins, and please check in twice and slowly. Kind of struggling this way with the words this morning, not sure why. But anyway, please check in twice and slowly.
Whiskey 5 Papa Lima Mobile. Whiskey 5 Papa Lima Mobile.
QR Kilo Tango Quebec Romeo. Colin.
AA2PF, AA2 Papa Foxtrot in and out.
W2KJV, W2KJV.
KR4 Papa Echo Tango, KC2PET, Kilo, Romeo, 4, November, Lima, Oscar.
We had a station that had a call sign or letters of 4AYH. Can you check back in just so we can clarify that call sign? All right, we still got time for more check-ins. Please check in twice and slowly.
This is November 8, Mike Juliet, November 8, Mike Juliet, November, mobile, in and out.
Not sure if you got my call. 0 Foxtrot, 0 Tango Quebec Romeo. Colin.
DA, KF5RX. Good morning, Doug. How are you? KF5RX, 81DA. How are you, John? Yeah, I'm going to the office again.
Out at a net right now. NW2, November Whiskey 3 United. Greg, out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, checked in. KC2PET Ross, Malden, New York, checked in. W2KJV Tony from Homosassa, Florida, also checked in. AA2PF and in and out David. KQ4AYH, Gary from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, checked in. And that's top of the list with KF02QR, Colin from Norfolk, Nebraska.
Yes. KF02QR. I didn't get your question. I was just waking up and I remembered the East Coast Reflector Morning. Sorry, I didn't hear your question there. If you could go with your question, that could drop.
The thing is, have you ever had a waterbed? Yes.
Well, that answer could be no. I've never had a waterbed before. I don't think I want to try one. Apparently my parents had one growing up, so I think I'll stick to the standard. Anyway, it's going to be a good day today, and I hope everybody on the net has a good day. And anyway, I'll say 70 degrees, and take care. Have a great day.
All right, Colin, have a great day as well. Thank you for checking in. Move on to W5PL James out of Spring, Texas. Good morning, James.
Well, good morning,
Bill and Vicky, thank y'all for running that this morning. And good morning, Brew Crew. This is Whiskey 5 Papa Lima Mobile. James in Spring, mobiling to PT to work on my knee. And then to work later today. Got a beautiful sunrise on the dash, and it's a great day to be alive. To the question at hand, negative on the waterbed. I always had a traditional land-based bed because of mermaids. With that, I'll say 7-3 and hand it back to Nick. Everybody have a blessed day and stay safe out there. This is Whiskey 5 Papa Lima Mobile. We'll be monitoring.
All right, James, I like your energy for the morning. Sounds good. Have a great day. Let's move on to KQ4AYH, Gary out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Good morning, Gary. Great. KQ4AYH, you still with us? All right, we'll put it up. Maybe you'll come back to us a little bit later. Let's move on to W2KJV, Tony out of Homeless House in Florida. Tony, have you ever had a waterbed?
Good morning, Net Control, and everyone on the Morning Brew. That's a negative. No waterbed for me. Hope everyone has a great day. Back to you, W2KJV.
All right, Tony, thanks for checking in. We got to know, and have a great day. Let's move on to KC2PE, Ross, Alden, New York. Good morning, Ross.
Good morning, Net Control, and everybody. You can put me down for a no. Never had a waterbed. Hope everybody has a good day. Back to Net. KC2PET.
All right, Ross, thanks for checking in. Have a great day. Let's move on to Greg, KR4NLO out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Good morning, Greg.
Morning to everybody on the crew. I've never had one, but my parents did, and I tried it out once or twice, and I told them they could keep it. I'll just stay with a traditional bed type mattress. Y'all take care and Godspeed. Have a good day.
All right, you have a great day as well, Greg. 3U, David out of Garner, North Carolina. Good morning, David.
Well, good morning to you and everybody else out there in the Morning Brew. Hope this finds everyone well. And answer the question of the day, yes, we did have a waterbed. It was actually a modified waterbed or a hybrid waterbed. It had tubes in it. You filled the individual tubes up, so it was a semi-waveless. But we did have that for a couple of years. Finally, ditched it, went to a regular mattress. 73750 NW3.
Hey, David, thank you for checking in and have a great day. Let's move on to KD4CHT via the text line. Alan out of Princeton, North Carolina. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, everybody on the Brew Crew. The answer to the question would be no. I've never had a waterbed. I've seen them in the stores, but I have never slept on one. So, back to that, KD4CHT.
All right, Alan, thanks for checking in. Have a great day. We got you down as a no limit long. Let's move on to JPQ. Frank out of Lancaster, New York. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Bill and Vicky and everybody on the brew. Never had a waterbed, and not much going on today, so I'll just say 7-3, send it back to the Net. KC2JPQ.
All right, Frank, have a great day. Thanks for checking in. All right, let's move on to AC3QB, Joe out of Milton, Delaware. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning to everyone on the Brew Crew. The answer for me is no. I really never wanted one. And space C3, UB for Missile Town, 73. All right, Joe, thanks for checking in and have a great day. All right, we're at the end of that list. Let's start another list. Remember to say your call sign twice and slowly. Let's do check-in, check-in, check-in. Remember, call sign twice and slowly.
Whiskey 5 Delta Bravo Sierra. Whiskey 5 Delta Bravo Sierra.
N2BH, N2BH. Charlie Sierra, VE3 TC. Kilo Delta, Mike Golf November, mobile. Kilo Delta 8, Mike Golf November, mobile. All right, we still got room for more. How about the medical link or digital stations? Please check in. Remember to say your call sign twice and
Baker 2, Tango Queen Echo. Charlie Julia Mike, W2 CJM, in and out.
IWN, KB2IWN.
In and out.
MGN, Kurt, out of Fenton, Michigan. Good morning, Kurt. Have you ever had a waterbed?
Please copy November 1, Whiskey Echo Bravo, N1WEB.
KD8 MGN, out of Fenton, Michigan. Have you ever had a waterbed? All right, we'll move on. Say he's in and out. Hopefully he comes back a little bit later. VE3 TCS, Tim, out of Windsor, Ontario, Canada. What say you, Tim?
Morning, this is VE3 TCS. No, I've never owned one. I did sleep in one night, and I didn't like it, so I never bought one. Back to net.
All right, Tim, have a good day, and thank you for checking in. We also had N2BH, Bill, one of our net controllers, check in, and W5DBS, David. At the top of our list, David, have you ever had a waterbed?
Great big Texas howdy to you. Yes, back in my single days, which was 54 or 5 years ago, I had a waterbed, and I lived in a high-rise, and I lived up on the top floor, and you know, in a storm, those buildings move, and that waterbed looked like it had 6-foot waves. Yes, I had a waterbed. Back to the crew. Thank you, guys.
Oh, I remember those waves on the bed moving as well, David. Check in and have a great day. Let's move on to Bill, N2BH, one of our net controllers from Palmyra, New York. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Bill, Vicky, Roger, everybody. I proudly admit I had 2 of them, and getting ready to head to breakfast and motorcycle ride, N2BH.
All right, Bill, have a great day, and thank you for checking in. All right, let's move on to WB2 TQE, Howard out of Coconut Creek, Florida. Good morning, Howard.
WB2TQE. Are you still with us? We'll put Howard as an in and out. Maybe he'll check in a little bit later with this. Let's move on to KD2IWN. Tim out of Hamburg, New York. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, everybody on the Brew Crew. Tommy here at Test Meter. That's okay. Yeah, I had back in the 80s and into the 90s, we had a semi-wave with heated waterbed. I miss it tremendously. That thing was so comfortable in the wintertime, crawling into a warm bed already. In Western New York, that was a beautiful thing. So, yep, I had one. And, boy, miss those days. Everybody enjoy 73 KD2IWN.
All right, Tim, thanks for checking in. Have a great day. 7-3 to you as well. All right, we had a in and out station, W2CJM, Charles out of Selden, New York, checked in, and on down to K9 TBD, Joel out of Eastern Pennsylvania. Good morning, Joel.
Good morning, all, and I've seen them. I tried one out and never got one, so we've never had a waterbed. Back to you.
All right, Joel, thanks for checking in and have a great day. Let's move on to N1 WEB Webb out of Collierville, Tennessee. Good morning, Webb.
Thank you, Bill and Vicki. Good morning to the net. You can put me down as a no, but I sure do remember when they were popular. N1 WEB.
All right, Webb, we got you down as no in the log. Have a great day. On the K5YNU. Florence from Conrail, Texas. Good morning, Florence.
Good morning, Bill. Everyone on the Morning Brew? The answer is no. Didn't even know existed until I think this question was last year also on this Coast Reflector. Answer is no. Back to net control. Everyone have a blast day. K5YNU mobile.
All right, Florence. Thanks for checking in. You have a great day. Just a reminder, this is KF0MHN. The question of the day is, do you have a waterbed, yes or no? Coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Time is the 20-meter net with Roger and Roger's KO4QMM, and it'll be on 14.317. Also tomorrow, the Morning Brew, and then after the brew, right afterwards, is the second cup. So who knows what's going to go on the second cup. It's a little bit more relaxed than the morning, the actual first 2 hours of the Morning Brew. All right, let's have some check-ins. Remember to say your call sign twice and slowly.
7, Mike Romeo, Alpha Echo 7, Mike Romeo, Terry, AE7MR.
And Juliet, Charlie, Oscar, November 7, Juliet, Charlie, Oscar, Jeff, mobile, in and out.
Kilo, Juliet 7, Quebec, Yankee, Golf. Kilo, Juliet 7, Quebec, Yankee, Golf, Mick.
KF8, DIC, KF8, Detroit Rock City.
IF, November 2, India Foxtrot.
All right, we have a list, and we'll start from the bottom. Let's go N2IF. Ivan checked in. KF8 DRC, Detroit Rock City, Rochester, Michigan checked in. KJ7QYG, Mick from Noti, Oregon checked in. I hope I got that Noti or Noti. Also N7JCO, Jeff was in and out from Noti, Oregon. Also we have K4ITA,
a mobile Leo in Port Lauderdale, Florida. Good morning, Leo.
Good morning. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, everybody from the beautiful Fort Lauderdale. 86 degrees and windy again, a lot of seaweed on the beach. And the answer is no. I slept on one, but I never owned one. Everybody a great day. K4.
You have a great day as well, Leo. 7-3. We got you down to the log as a no. All right, let's move on to top. E7MR, Terry, Harrisburg, Oregon. Good morning, Terry.
7 Mike Romeo. I've never owned one. My mom and dad did. A neighbor did. Dad jumped on his. That was one of those that had no wave bladders in it, and they threw her out on the floor. And my neighbor had an earthquake there in the Riverside, California area. But I've never owned one. Alpha Echo 7 Mike Romeo. Thank you for taking me up. 87MR back.
All right, Terry, have a great day, and thank you for checking in. Let's move on to KJ7QYG, Mick Nody, Oregon. Good morning, Nick.
KJ7QYG, good morning, everyone. Never owned a waterbed. I slept in one once. I didn't like it at all, and would never buy one. Hope everyone has a great day today. 7-3. KJ7QYG, Mick from Notai.
All right, Mick, Notai, Oregon. Got it for the next time. Have a great day. Thanks for checking in. Let's move on to KF8DRC, Detroit Rock City. Jack, Rochester, Michigan. Good morning, Jack.
Well, good morning, Vicky. No, I never had one. I had the hot air waterbed. That's all I had. Everyone have a good day. KF8, Detroit Rock City.
All right, Jack, have a great day. Thanks for checking in. Let's move on to N2IF, Ivan out of Gasburg, New York. Good morning.
N2IF. Good morning, everyone. And yeah, on to that question there. I actually didn't even know what a waterbed was until now. So it's definitely, I've looked into it a bit, and it definitely seems like a cool thing. You know, I've slept on them, and because they weren't the best, but yeah, put me down for no. 73. This is N2IF. Back to net.
All right, Ivan, have a great day. Yeah, they were kind of a novelty back in the day. People got them, you know. Feel like you're on the ocean when you're sleeping. For some people, they were comfortable. For some, they weren't. I didn't mind it too much, but I had to make a change after I got married. My wife didn't like it. So, 3 to you, Ivan. Have a great day. Let's move on to KF8DJQ from text line. Kevin, Bowling Green, Ohio. Good morning.
Good morning, Brew Crew, everybody on the net this morning. Call me by... Yes, I have had a waterbed, and I lived in a house with a very slanted floor, and there was about 4 inches of water in one end of it and about 1.5 feet in the other, so it didn't really work out all that well for me, but yeah, it was interesting. So, yeah, KF8, DJQ, back to net.
All right, Kevin, thanks for checking in, and have a great day. All right, time for more check-ins. Remember to say your call sign twice and slowly. Let's have some more check-ins. W2EM.
Jennifer 4, Kilo Hotel Zulu, Ed 4 kilohertz. I'll be in and out.
In 5DR2, in 5DRT.
Kilo Charlie 2, Kilo Hotel Tango.
Kilo Alpha 5, Papa Uniform Delta. Kilo Alpha 5, Papa Uniform Delta.
Whiskey 7, Tango November Charlie. Whiskey 7, Tango November Charlie.
2, TUU, Kilo Delta 2, Tango, Uniform, Uniform.
CKC, KR4 CKC.
Roll minute now.
W4KNS in and out. W4KNS in and out.
Right, we got a good list going there. Let's start from the bottom. WK4NS, in and out, Mark from Orlando, Florida. Have a great day. KR4CKC, Bill checked in from the Villages. KD2TUU, Thomas from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. W7TNC, Kelly, Billings, Montana, checked in. KA5PUD, Paul from Montgomery, Texas. KC2KHT, Henry out of East Islip, New York. And 5DRT Kurt out of Morton, Texas. At the top of the list is W2EM Chuck out of Lancaster, New York. Good morning, Chuck.
Well, good morning, everybody. Yep, back in the day, we had a waterbed for a number of years, and we liked it. It was okay. The cats loved it in the wintertime. You know, used to crawl into a nice warm bed. The biggest problem with the waterbed was changing the sheets. It was a pain in the neck trying to tuck everything in and get everything done. But actually, it was very comfortable. Back to net, W2EM.
All right, Chuck. Yes, I remember changing the sheets was a pain in the butt back in the day as well. Have a great day, and 7-3 to you. Thanks for checking in. All right, we also had an in and out N4KHE John out of Rochester, New York. N5DRT, Morton, Texas. Have you ever had a bed?
Yes, sir, many years ago, and I remember having to drain it a couple times to replace the heater in the boat. That's all. So, yeah, that's been many years. Hey. Won't anymore. In 5DRT.
All right, Kurt, thanks for checking in. Have a great day. Let's move on to Henry, KC2KHT out of East Islip, New York.
Morning, this is KC2KHT, and no, I have never had one, nor have I ever been in one. So, back to the net, KC2KHT.
All right, Henry, have a great day, and thanks for checking in. Let's move on to KA5PUD, Paul, Montgomery, Texas. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning to the crew. Yes, we had one. We initially liked it, but then it became a maintenance problem and eventually had to get rid of it. So back to net, KA5PUD.
All right, Paul, we got you down for a yes, and have a great day. Let's move on to Kelly from Billings, Montana, W7TNC. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning.
hope everybody's having a great day so far. And yes, I did have a waterbed, and I remember having a crushed velvet blue bedspread. Man, I thought that was cool. That was really living. So thank you for doing the net. Sure enjoy it. And 7-3s.
Hey, Kelly, thanks for checking in. Have a great day. We got you down for a yes in the log. Let's move on to KD2, TUU, Thomas Nazareth. Good morning.
Morning, everyone. Yes, I did have a waterbed back in the 80s. I was actually living in Southern California and went through a couple earthquakes in a waterbed. That was pretty interesting, to say the least. Anyway, that's then, and this is now. Well, 7-3, everyone, and back to net.
All right, Thomas, have a great day. Thanks for checking in. And that would be interesting going through earthquakes on a waterbed, I would imagine. So anyway, 7-3. Let's move on to KR4CKC. Bill out of the Villages of Florida. Good morning, Bill.
Yeah, on the brew. Another beautiful day here in the Villages. 84 degrees. And we got thunderstorms this afternoon. Put me down for a no. Never had a waterbed. I don't think I've even slept in one. KR4CKC, you all have a great day.
All right, Bill, you have a great day as well. All right, let's move on to one of our team members, K4TDS, Gil out of Orlando, Florida. Good morning, Gil.
Good morning, everyone. And the traditional waterbed I can't stand, but we did have one of the tube-based waterbeds, and that was pretty darn cool. Like that one. So put me down for yes, K4TDS.
All right, Gil, have a great day. Good to hear from you. And we got you as a yes in the log. All right, W3ICQ, Bob, Leesburg, Florida. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Bill. It's good to hear that this morning. And hi, Vicki. And yes, you can put us down for we had a waterbed for a few years, not for us, but for our eldest daughter who wanted one. When she was a teenager, she kept it till she went to college, and then we put the hose out the second-story window and emptied it and put something else back in again. Back to you, W3ICQ.
All right, Bob, thanks for checking in. Have a great day. We'll talk more down the line. All right, let's move on to KM4 TV. Donnie, Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Good morning, Donnie. Hey, good morning, Bill, Vicki, and everybody on the net. KM4CTV, Donnie in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Well, if we count the kids, we did get one for our son years ago. He wanted one, so we got one for him, but it wasn't for us, that's for sure. Thanks for doing that, and have a great day. KM4CTV, back to net. Donnie, have a great day. Thanks for checking in. Just a reminder, we have Vicki doing the log, KEABKY, back in the Zoom room. And we've got about 12 minutes to go, so we've got time for more check-ins. Please remember to say your call and slowly.
Kilo Bravo 8, Papa Lima Victor, KB8 PLV, Chris.
W7, SMR, Whiskey 7, Sierra Mike Romeo.
November 7, Foxtrot Golf Papa. November 7, Foxtrot Golf Papa. All right, we'll start from the list here. N7FTP Scott, Jamestown, New York. LSA Mobile. And Scott, what say you? And also a little bit about your net tonight, or on Mondays.
Well, good morning, Bill, and hello, everybody on the net. Yeah, join us Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time when we have a little rag chew for a couple of hours, so that's always a lot of fun. But as far as waterbeds, yeah, back in the 80s, they were a big doing, so yeah, we had one. Thanks for doing the net.
All right, Scott, have a great day, and thank you for checking in. The other mobile we had was KB8PL out of Novi, Michigan. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning to everyone on the net. Put me down for a no. I never had one myself. Some of my friends did. We treated it like a trampoline. Got in trouble a lot of times, but never got to sleep on one. Everyone have a good week ahead. This is KB8PLV. Back to net.
All right, Chris, have a great day. Let's move on to W7SMR. Michael out of Riverton, Wyoming. Good morning, Michael.
Morning. I definitely had a waterbed in college. Until I had a puppy that decided to pump it. Back to that. W7SMR.
All right, Michael, thanks for checking in. All right, that's the end of that list. Time for more check-ins. Please remember to say your call sign twice and slowly. And if you never checked in before, please check in with us this morning. We'd like to hear from you.
K9PDN, K9PDN.
We had was the call sign letters K4PB. We didn't get all of that. If you can repeat that for us, please. Still got room for more check-ins. Check-ins. Anybody check these? We can call sign twice and slowly.
This is KX9BBY. KX9BBY.
KR4, ISK, name Tony, West Tennessee.
N5GI, N5GI.
Kilo Juliet 5 Romeo Charlie Bravo. Again, Kilo Juliet 5 Romeo Charlie Bravo.
Alpha Oscar Bravo, no.
All right, we got a list there. First check-in was, or the last check-in there, we had K4AOB out of Raleigh, North Carolina. J5RCB, Jason from Frisco, Texas, checked in. And 5GI, Rick, and we had Tony that may have checked in, or a call sign that came after KX9BBY, possibly Tony. All right, we'll move on. KX9BBY checked in, Josh from Brownsville, Texas, and also K9PDN, Tommy, Michigan. Good morning, Tommy. Have you ever had a water? K9 PDN, have you ever had a waterbed? We'll move on from Tommy. Let's move on to KX9 BBY Josh out of Brownsville, Texas. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, rest of the brew crew. No, I have not had slept on one, but I used to have a friend that had one, and I thought it was pretty cool back in the day. This is why. Happy Thursday to everybody, and the rest of the week. Back to net control.
All right, Josh. Happy Thursday to you as well. 7-3, and have a great day. We got you down as a no on the log. Let's move on to N5GI Rick out of the Villages. Good morning, Rick.
Okay, now that I can get in after all that static, this is N5GI, and yeah, many years ago we had a waterbed. Don't remember what we did with it. We had it for a while. We eventually got rid of it, so I can say yes, for sure we've had one. This is N5GI, currently in upstate South Carolina, same 73 and back to net control.
All right, Rick, thanks for hanging in there, and have a great day. We got you down for a yes in the log. Let's move on to KJ5 RCB Jason out of Frisco, Texas. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, everyone. I did have a waterbed. I didn't have any strong opinion about it. It was fine. But I mean, I'm getting a kick about everybody's story. Anyway, everybody have a good day, and back to the net. This is KJ5 up.
All right, Jason, thanks for checking in, and have a great day. We had K4 AOB was in and out. Alex out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And let's move on to John, N2 FYA out of Mystic, Connecticut. Good morning, John.
Morning, everyone. Yes, we did have a waterbed back in the late 70s, I believe it was. And it was kind of cool. I don't know exactly what happened to it. Whether we just decided it was time to move back to a regular mattress or what the situation was too many years ago. But anyway, the answer is yes, we did have a waterbed over here. Back to you, and thank you for letting me check in.
All right, John, thanks for checking in, and have a great day, and we got you down for a yes in the long. All right, we got about a until 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time. Time for more check-ins. We'll take a few more. Any Echo Link Digital, and remember to say your call sign twice and slowly.
KR4, KVE, that's Kilo Romeo 4, Kilo Victor Echo, James, Kissimmee, Florida.
KJ5 LJJ, KJ5 LJJ.
What's KV3 Uniform TBV, Kilo Charlie 3, Tango Bravo Victor.
KJ5 LJJ.
All right, we had KC3 TBV, Roger, check in. We had W2GUI Guy, or pardon me, Brent check in. W2GUI from Las Vegas, Nevada. We had KJ5 LJJ, Craig out of Purvis, Mississippi. And at the top of our list, the mobile KR4 KVE James out of Kissimmee, Florida. Good morning, James.
Good morning, everyone on the crew. James and KR4 KVE. The question of the day was, have I ever owned a waterbed? And yeah, true, I have owned a waterbed. And as the previous station had said, that the cat loved it, well, ours did too. It is that our cat was fascinated by the waves it made and kept jumping on the waves as to entertain itself. The funniest thing you ever could imagine. KR4, KVE, right back to net.
All right, James, thanks for checking in. Have a great day. Move on to KJ5, LJJ, Greg out of Purvis, Mississippi. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, crew. No. The answer is no, I hadn't. Back to you, net control.
All right, Greg, thanks for checking in. Have a great day. Let's move on to W2GUI Brent, who's new from Las Vegas, Nevada. My address is updated in QRZ. You will get a welcome letter from Vicky. Coast Reflector. Well, good morning, Brent. W2GUY, are you still with us?
Possibly you meant me, W2GUT. Tango on the end.
All right, Ed, Cheektowaga, New York. Good morning. Confusion.
No worries. That's what I figured I'd wait. All right, good morning, everybody. Just doing the usual morning routine. Stop and get my importance here locally. Is our favorite coffee / pastry shop. So I'm gonna do that and off to the part-time job, just driving around for delivering edible arrangements. So nice job. Everybody have a good day. 77 here in Western New York. W2GUT Mobile, back tonight.
We're on a KC3TBV, Roger out of Manchester, Maryland. Good morning.
Good morning, this is KC3TBV, Roger, Manchester, Maryland. Good morning to everybody on the net. Answer to today's question is affirmative. And if memory serves me correctly, I believe we've had at least two. And the last one we had was the updated version that had the baffles in it. They called it a waveless waterbed. Helped a little bit, still had a lot of motion. Hope everybody has a great day. Back to net control.
All right, Roger, you have a great day as well. All right, on that note, we end the morning brew here on Thursday, October 6, 2026 at 8:03 a.m. Everybody, thank you for checking in, and thank you to Vicky, VE8DKY, and Roger, KO4QMM, and on behalf of me, KF0MHN, everybody have a great afternoon and a great day. Let's move the East Coast Reflector back to normal ham radio use.